Hello everybody, and welcome to another Kaldheim draft here on the channel. Before I dive in, I do want to remind you that if you enjoy this video, be sure to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment in the comment section down below with your questions or feedback. And I would also like to hear what your feedback is on this new little overlay setup thing that I've got going on. For those of you who've watched a lot of my videos, you'll recognize this is a new little setup. I'm experimenting, trying to keep things fresh and improved all the time, and I would really value your feedback on that. If you would like to catch this Twitch stream live, you can find me at twitch.tv/NicolaiBolas. And if you want to support my content, you can do so via the Patreon, patreon.com/NicolaiBolas. Gain access to my card-by-card grade spreadsheet, all of that fun jazz. But we're going to be diving on in, and we've opened up a doozy of a pack. We've got Dream Devourer. This card's hard to rate. It was pretty good against me one time, and when I listened to the limited resources rare set review, they were pretty high on the card, but it seems like such a do-nothing, especially like if you ever are behind, which I feel like black decks are kind of slow, so having a 0/3 doesn't seem great. What is in this pack that I would want, though? There's Elderfang Disciple. That card can be pretty good. There's Port of Carthel, but I don't really want to take a random dual land for a color combination that I might not get. And then there's Runamuck if I really wanted to go like full out aggro, and then there's Skemfar Shadow Sage, depending on how aggro I was. I'm choosing between this Shadow Sage, the Disciple, and the Dream Devourer. I think I'll take the Devourer. It's a card that'll be worth testing out, I think. I mean, if it's bad, we'll find out together, right? The format hasn't been out for very long, so you're not going to get very far in a format if you just assume all the cards that you think are bad, because oftentimes cards surprise you, or the cards you think are good aren't very good after all. It's also like between that, I haven't played the the like 2/5 card that like either gains you life or loses you them life, so we're gonna take this card. Following it up, Rune of Mortality is pretty good. I'm just gonna take Basalt Ravager though. I think it's really good. This card has consistently performed for me. Just always kill something even to further to the 1 damage, and dealing 2 damage is not that hard, and then dealing 3 damage is not that hard either. Other than that, I mean, Rune of Mortality would keep me mono black, but I'm not even sure how powerful this is, so I'm not like going to stick to black for it. And I think this is the best card by a decent margin. And red's a really good color in the format. Trickster God's Heist I haven't tried out yet either. I don't really want to take a gold card here though, when there's a good monocolored card. Way Down can be decent too, but I think I would probably take the Rune over that. I don't know. I do like getting Basalt Ravager though. Okay. So now pick 3, we have a decision here. There's an Icebind Pillar, which is a good card in a snow deck. Certainly. There's also Bloodline Pretender, which is like the complete opposite. Icebind Pillar goes in a very narrow subset of decks, and Bloodline Pretender goes in every subset of decks and is good in all of them. It's really good with Basalt Ravager. That's a nice little 2-card combo. Not really inner synergy with this. There's also Snow-Covered Swamp. There's a Immersturm Raider that might wheel to go with my Ravager, because if I wasn't black-red, then this would potentially do good work. See you later, Till. I think I want to take the Bloodline Pretender. I do like Icebind Pillar, but it puts me into a 3rd color in 3 picks, which is a factor. I don't necessarily think Snow is going to be open, and I also think this card's just super flexible and works well with the Ravager. And it's going to be a solid card in any deck that I draft, which is a nice little feature. Being a changeling to work with this is quite nice. And look at that. Looks like we're going to get a little bit rewarded for this. There's a Frenzied Raider. It doesn't really play as well with Dream Devourer, because you don't really want to be devouring when you're trying to beat down with your Frenzied Raider. This card's good in a very small subset of decks. You kind of want to be pairing it with the 1-mana 1/2 that can drain them when it boasts, but that's not a particularly good card. There's also Elderfang Disciple. There's Squash if I just wanted to stick to red and ignore black. Black hasn't seemed like not open. Squash is good with these 2 cards, so I think I'm going to lean towards Squash. Infernal Pet is a card that I've been wanting to try, and it works really well with Dream Devourer, but I don't think it's really a signal because I don't think other people really value it. Squash looks just like good with these 2 cards that I already have. I could draft Giants, or I could still play black-red. Black-red could be open as well. Oh, oops, wrong card. Ooh, never mind. I just clicked around 4 cards there. I misclicked on this one, then I clicked up to this trying to click the Rune of Flight, and then I realized there's a Dwarven Hammer in this pack. Oh, hey Quantum Network. You redeemed The Cat Says Hi. Unfortunately, the cat is not with me in my new digs, so I'll have to find a workaround. I'll find a nice little picture of my cat or something. But Dwarven Hammer is great. It's good in aggressive decks. It's also good in just like any deck, I think, but it really thrives in aggressive decks. My deck isn't like anything right now. It could be aggressive, it could be controlling, Bloodline Pretender, Basalt Ravager. So they can go in any decks. After that, I would probably take the Rune of Flight. It's just a nice card. Blue-Red Giants is a good home for it. But I think the Hammer is really good, and I'm still sticking with red, as it were. Now this is a very interesting pick, and one that I'm not sure I would have made early in the format. Frenzied Raider coming around again. I could be playing black-red. I don't think I necessarily am, because Bring Devour is my only black card. Hey, Cornwall. But I think I'm either going to take the Mountain or the Frostpire, because what I found is that I always seem to end up with enough playables. And so just getting extra snowlands when you get the chance is so nice, because then your Frostbites are randomly better. Things like that. The Frostpire, I'm not necessarily going to play blue, so I think I'm just going to take a land that's guaranteed to make my deck. Oh, thank you for letting me know. I'm just going to have to turn off the alerts thing, because if it's just stuck there, which it looks like it was kind of stuck. Thanks for letting me know, Asteroid Down. Hopefully it wasn't there for too long. I'll have to see if there's a workaround to fix that, because it being glitched is not great. I don't really do any manual work on that. It just sometimes it glitches, I guess. Valkyrie can be nice for an aggressive deck. Dwarven Reinforcements can go well with my Ravager and my Bloodline Pretender. And they wear the Hammer. I kind of want to just keep taking red cards. Maybe last few minutes. It was a few minutes and nobody told me? Oh man, I'm disappointed, chat. Well, obviously Yamanachi's not going to tell me. Okay, so now Mistwalker's a pretty good blue card. I think I'm just going to take the Snow-Covered Island, though. It just opens me up for later things. Hagi Mob is fine. But I'm just going to take the island. It's like taking a blue card almost. Mistwalker's good, but I'm going to end up with enough playables. So I'm just going to take the card that is going to potentially let me play more of the cards that I've taken. You were trying to pay attention to the draft, but you were distracted by Yamanachi. YouTube's going to have a field day. Okay, so in this pack, I'm probably going to take Runamuck or Breakneck Berserker. I already have a couple. I don't really have 3-drops. I think I'm going to take Runamuck. It's really good for aggressive red decks. It's such a key component to have, like a +3/+3, to get your little guys over the hump, as it were. I could have taken the land, I guess. I'll take Carful Kennelmaster. If I end up in an aggressive red-black deck, I could want that for sure. And now Immersturm Raider. I wouldn't mind an Axeguard Braggart. Immersturm's not that good. But I've already got like this idea that I could potentially be a red-black aggro deck. Blue hasn't seemed wildly open. There's also some green stuff, but... A Frenzied Raider. Maybe we are going to be all out on the aggro plan. And you do need to make sure you get 2-drops. Infernal Pet's a card that I really want to try, but I'm not sure my second color, and I could still be, I guess, red-white or something. I guess I'll take the Invader. I'm not going to want Vault Robber ever. Berserker, nice. Last pick, Snowplains. So, we have a Boast payoff, but we're not really going to be going for that too heavily. So, in this pack, there is Faceless Haven, which is a good card, but it's too hard to enable to be like a worth picking here. This is the type of card that works really well with the Frenzied Raider, the Dusk Wielder, even though it's not really good on its own. Cole the Forge Master goes well if I end up in red-white, and then I would have a card like Tormentor's Helm to back it up. So, what do I want? I've got decent chance of... I know I'm playing red, so the default option is taking like a red card, like Squash or Helm. I do only have 2 giants, so I don't think I'm going to want more than 1 Squash. I think I can take the Helm pretty safely. It's going to probably be pretty good in my deck. Or I could gamble on Cole. I'm going to gamble on Cole, I think. Because Cole could be like one of the best cards in my deck. Yeah, that black 1-drop is going to wheel. I'm not going to have to prioritize that ever. So in this pack, I could either take Run Amok, which is guaranteed to make my deck, or Kaya's Onslaught, which is not guaranteed to make my deck, but is slightly more powerful. I'm not going to play this blue rare. Tough, 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 tough. Run Amok guaranteed. Kai's Onslaught not guaranteed. I think I want Run Amok. It's just cheaper to cast, and I'm going to want to be attacking. And I'm guaranteed to play red, and I'm not guaranteed to be playing white. And now I could take Axe Guard Cavalry. Just again, sticking with red. The Cyclone Summoner is good. There's also a Snow-Covered Mountain, so maybe I'd want that. But I don't have any snow cards yet, and 2-drops are like the one card that I could justify taking over like everything, because again, it's just super hard to get 2-drops, and you need them to be aggressive in this format. Berserker is really good too, with pump spells and combat tricks, but I could still be red-white as well. So I'm just going to take this guy. Well, it makes sense to get past blue cards, because I didn't really see many blue cards in other packs. Just getting past Spirit of the Elder Guard. Village Rites plus Shackles. I could just take the Village Rites and try to get the Shackles back. There's also Rune of Sustenance, which is fine. Works well with Cole. Warhorn Blast works well with my Dwarven reinforcements. I'm just going to take the Rune, I think. It can make it really hard to race me if I get to put it on an equipment. It also works well with the Cole. And I'm not going to try to assemble Village Rites plus Shackles or Treachery. That's just not going to be reliable, I don't think. Yeah, there was an earlier Shackles, but I'm not, like... I'd need multiple Village Rites. And I'm okay if I get Warhorn Blast back here, I think. And Rune is really good with Cole. Goldmaw Champion. It's decent. There's also just a Shimmerdrift Veil. Helps me with my mana. Red-white should be fine, I think. I like this over the Goldmaw because I'm going to get enough playables, and so just having a dual land is nice. Ooh, Waking the Trolls. I can't really go that direction, I don't think. Green was not open pack 1. And there's a 2-drop. I'm not sure if I was supposed to just stay the course and play black-red. And now I can take a Snow-Covered Mountain over a Battlefield Raptor. What do I have that synergizes with Raptor? Do I have anything that buffs its power? I guess putting a Run Amok on it for the 8-point life swing is good. Putting a Dwarven Hammer on it's good. But other than that, I'm pretty much just not going to need the Raptor. Whereas if I get a Frostbite, having it do 3 damage is going to be really nice. Maybe I still just want the Raptor. I think I'm just going to stay with my plan of just taking the Snowlands really highly, because making your Frostbites better is still nice. Now there's a Fearless Pup with a chest synergy with the Frenzied Raider. Starnheim Courser, which doesn't really have synergy in my deck, and then just a massive 4/4 that has synergy with my Squash. I think the 4/4 is good. It also works well with the Axe Guard Cavalry. I think I'm going to take that over the Pup and the Courser. Just a 4/4 is so massive in this format. Ooh, baby, we got the Tormentor's Helm back. Pup is better than I thought it would be too, even though I haven't played it yet. It's been decent against me, and from what I've seen. I'm going to take this over the Wings. It's just super good with Cole, good with my Rune. Ooh, Raven Wings. Going to take that over the Hagi Mob. The Cole is looking pretty good in my deck, not going to lie. I'm liking the speculative pick on that. And now we get another Snow Mountain over a Starnheim Courser. I wouldn't mind Courser, but as you can see, we're going to make playables in our deck, and so now we just have 3, 4. We're going to have 5 snowlands now, so just in case we get any card that cares about snow, we're going to be fine. The problem with Verdict is if we're attacking them, then we're going to be doing the damage and not the waiting around, waiting for them. Return Artifact or Enchantment. So we can return a Bloodline Pretender, a Rune of Sustenance. It's going to be better than Shackles, probably. I'm probably not going to play either. I can get a Shackles the next pick, maybe. I don't mind passing a blue card. Okay, so, oh, and they called him Skillful. Wow, this card is great in my deck. Whenever you cast a spell, you add red, and you can also make a 3/3, or you can just cast the like game-ending Harnfell Horn of Bounty. That's really good. And then I have a chance of wheeling Call if I'm the only red-white drafter. I could also just get this on the wheel. Code Spell Cleric might come back, which is a card I really like. What a pack. Burgie is super good. Okay, so it's this, and then I would probably take the second Call, and then I would take the Axe Guard, and then this, and then the Spectral Steel. But Burgie's great. Oh, no! Well, we have to take the Demon Bolt because it's just so good, but Frostbite would be so good in this deck with our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Snowlands. Demon Bolt's just a house of a card, though. So this pack is pretty clearly Demon Bolt, followed by Frostbite, followed by Story Seeker. We have a lot of Dwarves, so Bloodline Pretender is probably going to name Dwarf. How many Dwarves do we have? 4 Dwarves. Oh, and Berserker, I guess. I thought we had more Dwarves than we did. I guess this is also Dwarves. So we technically have a little bit more Dwarfs. The Bolt is just so efficient. It's got to be the pick here. Oh! Chat, you have no idea how much I just want to take Kaya's Onslaught to combo with Runamuk. How many creatures do we have? 10 creatures, 9 non-creatures, but we have to just take Bounding Gold, I think. It's just such a good removal spell. Well, the red and white Snowlands are less useful than the other colors Snowlands, so getting a bunch of those is not as difficult. Pounding Gold or Kaya's Onslaught. I would love a Kaya's Onslaught to go with the double Runamuk. But we're going to take the Bounding Gold. Remove those blockers. Oh, this is an interesting pick. Hi, Soren. Oh, this is real interesting. I had a Fearless Liberator in my deck once, and it did not perform as well as I was hoping. But I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 2-drops, and you really need as many 2-drops as possible in this sort of deck, because you really want to play something on turn 2 to punish those slower starts. So even though I like Firewalker a lot more, it gives you gas in the late game, I'm going to take the Liberator. I want to give him a second chance. He's also going to be better with 2 Runamucks in my deck. A Raven Wings is a good combo with him as well. The Boast is also good with Burgie. Now we get a Code Spell Cleric. This card can be sweet. Mostly a 3-drop, but we'll put it in the 1-drop slot anyway. So how many creatures do we have now? 12 creatures. Are we so desperate for creatures that we're going to take Immersturm Raider over Bounding Gold? No, I don't think so. I'm not that desperate. Wow, late Avalanche Caller. This card's great. I'm not going to splash it, but it's really good. So I have, how much removal? I have 1, and then I've got, and this is also creatures, so that's like, I have 13 creatures. Jeez Louise. Well. How many removal spells do I have? I have... Okay, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 removal spells. I'm just going to keep taking them. And now we don't have to take Squash or anything. We can just keep taking these. Reckless Cruise. Okay, this card's good, but... I already have a Wings. Never fear. Oh, you can certainly have too much removal, but the second Fearless Liberator is quite nice. Oh, baby. We wield the Call. Currently we have Raven Wings, Tormentor's Helm, and Rune of Sustenance that work with it. and Dwarven Hammer. That's going to be good. I think it's better than the Axe Guard and the Code Spell. Oh, just straight red-white. You generally don't... Oh my gosh, yes! Twitch chat, we did it! Oh, I would love a 2-drop, don't get me wrong, but, I mean, we just got the perfect card for our deck. Maybe we can cut Squash. Oh, baby! I got the Kaya's Onslaught back! The combo! I like Run Amok, but Kaya's Onslaught is sick with Run Amok. Okay, we'll take the wings. We're not going to need that artifact. Wow, look at our deck, chat. Oh my gosh, so much value. Who you gonna call? Okay, so with the deck this strong, I think I can afford to cut Squash. Bounding Gold kind of does the same thing for only 3 mana. The problem with Divine Gambit in this deck, Newton, is I want to be able to remove a blocker, and this is not going to remove a blocker. I'm going to cut the Squash right off the bat. I only have 1 giant, 2 giants, 3 giants, and I'm going to need a little bit better than that. Okay, so 7, 8, and I also have 3 removal spells, 4 removal spells, 5 removal spells, so I'm going to be fine on the removal department. Deck busted. Okay, hopefully. It's hard to say before playing it. I like my curve, though, a lot. Bloodline, just going to name Berserker, right? Yeah, I have 6 of those. I have 7 dwarves, though. So I guess I'm naming dwarves with this, because he's a dwarf. This card's good with my various boast shenanigans. So I have these 3 things that work with Cole. The Code Spell Cleric could go, because I'm just not as heavy into the white mana. Yeah, I could cut Code Spell Cleric. I do like Code Spell Cleric. Putting counters on stuff is nice, but I'm lighter on that mana color, so I can go like cut this. That gives me 7 white sources. Like I go 6-9, or I go 16 lands. I could see 16 lands being correct because my curve is really cheap. So this is 6, 12, 14, 15, 16, and it gives me 9, 6 plus this dual land. So I like that curve. I have this removal. I've got Raven Wings, Rune, Tormentor's Helm to synergize with my Cole. How many 2-drops do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 2-drops. So I could cut a 2-drop. You don't need 8. 7 is really all you need for the 2-drops. Let's look at my combat tricks. I've got those as combat tricks. This is also an equipment to work with Cole. Yeah, I think this Raider's the worst 2-drop I've got. I think this is the Raider you're talking about. This one's probably a little better because I do have 2 boast creatures. And 1 toughness is a real liability. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. How many creatures do I have? 13 creatures. I could cut a non-creature. What non-creature would I cut, though? I've got some nice little packages, and I have... And this is also a creature. So I basically have 15 creatures here, because this and this are both creatures. I would cast the Burgesside if I needed a 3-drop, and I was trying to be beating down. I'm going to cut Immersturm Raider. I've seen that card just get blanked so many times, and I already kind of suffer from the 1 toughness problem. I wouldn't mind Code Spell Cleric. So I need 1 more cut. I'm already running 16 lands. I'm not going to go lower than that. Is Cavalry that good? Cavalry is pretty good, yeah. So I've got 5 removal spells. I've got Onslaught and Run Amok as a combo. I could just cut the Kaya's Onslaught. It works well with the hammer and the wings to hit him out of nowhere, but I could cut it. I like Hulk as just a 4/4 though. And it makes Cole better. Having a cheap equipment to equip is super good with Cole. I think I have to cut one of my combat tricks, and I think it's going to be the Onslaught. It's just harder to cast. And it doesn't push damage as well unless I specifically combo with that. I think I'm going to run it like this. It is like an Embercleave trick, but it doesn't stay like Embercleave. It goes away. It would be good, but you have to cut something. I could cut Raven Wings, but I don't really want to cut Raven Wings. It's super good with my Liberators. And yeah, so now let's double check my count. So I've got 5 Berserkers, 7 Dwarves still. Ah, the 7 Dwarves. And this is Dwarves, so yeah, I think we're going to run it like this. And we can make changes midway through if we decide, and I'll see you folks in the matches. Before I get to the matches, I want to give a huge shout out to all of the patrons who support me over at patreon.com/NicolaiBolas, especially those who support me at the credits level. I really do appreciate the support, and it is thanks to the support of patrons that I'm able to continue producing high quality videos on a consistent basis. Even those who pledge just a single $1 a month really do help me out, and all patrons gain access to my card by card grade spreadsheet for Kaldheim, so you get that nice little resource no matter what level of patron you are, and then you can get access to other cool things at higher tiers. But without further ado, let's get to the matches. Welcome to round 1. This is a struggle of a hand, but we got to keep this sort of thing. I do have a lot of removal, so I could cut a Bounding Gold for more combat trick type stuff. But I don't know. It's hard to justify cutting just powerful cards, but I could do it. Maybe I will next after this round. No! That's brutal. Building the decks where you this is exactly why I take the Snowland so highly, is because I just always have so many extra playables. I think I'm going to make the trade. They are an aggressive deck themselves, and trading a 3/2 for a 2/2 is good. Gonna make the mana efficiency play, and then I can equip this, hit them for 5, Bounding Gold, whatever they play this turn. I hope they don't have deal 5. Oh, they just have straight up nothing. That's good. Yeah, it's true. Keep off my lawn. Thanks, plus Garoth and Darman for the follows. No! Wow. What? This can hit players? My gosh. Yeah, it's so good. One day, I'll draw a creature to play. Or some berserkers. Oh, gosh. No! Rats. Phooey, as they say. Well, I think we'll... was that variance? My deck doesn't have as many creatures as it would like. And I do have creatures that I could play. Do I want to cut one of these, though? I have... It says 12, but I have 14, because I count this as a creature, and this is a creature. So 14 creatures is on the lower side for this sort of deck. I could play this and cut a run amok. Because I do have so many equipments that it's nice to have more equipments. We'll try that. Yeah, because you need to have creatures to have combat tricks, and we also have, like, a lot of equipments. I haven't played enough to know Kaplana. Most of my decks have been kind of in the middle or more on the controlling side so far. 3 bounds seems excessive. I don't think so. This is where Shimmerdrift Veil really keeps its shows its worth. Just like the thing is, one of the funny things about the way the human psychology works is if Bound was another Demon Bolt, it probably wouldn't be viewed that way. Just like a 2-2 split is just thought of differently. I'll trade here. Oh, I added the Immersturm Raider. I am running 16 land Sujov. I'm already running 16. I'm going as low as I can. My gosh. Nikolai Freud. I really want to play Codespell Cleric, but I don't have that many white sources. Much as this draw would have you disagree, have someone disagree, but I only have 6 planes in the deck. So casting Codespell might be a little trickier. Oh, nice. Am I gonna get to attack? We're boasting. Wow, Liberator doing some work. Take that. Yeah, I have 15 creatures. Ah. They are getting completely... I believe the phrase is raffle stomped. I'm just going to keep making 2/1s. I can play this later, and I can just foretell this. As the saying goes, make sun while the hay... I mean, make... While the sun is shining, thou dost make hay. Ah, the indestructible creature. Those who would doubt the power of Bound in Gold. There are those among us who doubt. And then you Bound in Gold their indestructible creature, and they feel sad. And this guy has just been way better than I ever imagined. I'm glad I gave him a second chance. It wasn't even on curve. I played him on turn 3. Nikolai Wordsworth. Oh, Cosmos Elixir. Nice life gain you got there, buddy. Yeah, I should have equipped this. Whoopsie-daisies. They should be at 3 right now. That was my bad. Lethal? Did I miss lethal? I could have paid 6 to equip this to something. It still dies, buddy. Oh, but they can crew. Aye, aye, Captain. Yes! Oh, we got the old W. Well, who needs Run Amok when you've got whatever card we added instead, the Immersturm Raider. We didn't draw either of them that round. Hey, Caesar. Did I miss lethal? I could have done an extra. Yeah, I probably did. Yeah, I didn't have to pay the 3 to make another 2-1. Yeah. Fearless did work. It did do work. I could have killed him that turn. I messed it up. I messed it up, chat. I will say, it's harder to make perfect plays when you are interacting with Twitch chat. It's a trade-off I'm happy to make, but when you're only half looking at the game, it's harder. Ooh, baby. 2-drop haste guy. I haven't gotten to do that curve out to someone yet, and I'm looking forward to seeing how they react. They say hello. We're going to use one of our custom little emote things. Too fast. Too flashy to ignore, too fast to catch. I didn't even know that that's what he said. Everybody grab a leg. What's this one? Serves you right for rushing ahead. Oh, get wrecked. Foretell something, buddy. See what happens. Oh, or just play a complete blank of a card. This card is so bad in my opinion. Actually, it's not unplayable, but it's like a D, I think. It's just so slow. Yeah. Coming in hot. These are what I wanted. Angry Hedron. I don't even think it is really good in Giants. A lot of the Giants you just want to be casting before that. Oh, look, Mistwalker. Say hello to my little friend. Are they missing a land? Maybe. Yeah, I know it is. I played a Giants deck, and I played 2 of them because I had 2 of them, and then I just, over the course of the draft, slowly cut them down until I didn't have one. Oh, yes. Play the Mistwalker, buddy. Sure. So they get to play Mistwalker for 1. I do have 1. Oh, I see what you're saying, Sujev. I didn't finish reading what you'd written. So this costs 6 to use. I'm just going to play this. If I had a 3rd Snowland, I could have done a little bit more with that, in that I could have like attacked, and then as soon as they tried to activate that, I could have killed it. But I'm just going to play my 5-1. Yeah, with Death Knell Berserkers and with the Elf card. They're so close. They're 1 mana away from that. Which means I'm going to want to equip my Berserker with my Helm. No, because then they can eat this creature. They can block here, pump it up. So attacking there just loses me a Story Seeker to do 3 damage, which I don't think is worth it. I'm going to charge in here, though. And they have to block one of my other guys unless they have another removal spell. Okay. This could end badly. Who you gonna call? No, they did, because they played this thing for only 1 mana. And they had 4, so they played 1. I'm pretty sure they did, at least. In my head, they played that for 1 mana. Maybe they didn't. Feels bad, man. I should have played the Liberator, because if they crack this, I'm in good shape. If they didn't have the mana to pump, I was thinking about it at least. But I thought they had the mana. I should have played this guy and made them use the Frostpire. Yeah, true, Sujav. If I'd played the Liberator, I could have killed him there. Or forced him to use this, but they didn't have the mana to use it. They did have the mana to pump? Okay, that's what I thought, Kaplana. Bye, Brian. Shocker, they killed one of my guys. The classic. It's a hard knock life for us when we're beating down. Oh, yes. That was not a great rhyme. We're in Platinum. Platinum card. Wow, so many new followers. Plusgaroth, Darman, Caesar, and Nebula. More followers. More wins. With so many equipments, it makes Run Amok less valuable because Dwarven Hammer kind of takes the role that a Run Amok would take of like pushing through when the board gets stalled. Hi-ho, hi-ho, it's off to work we go. I would whistle, but I think it would destroy eardrums. See ya, Yamanachi. But one of the things that I did as a child was I memorized that song. And by child, I mean much longer ago. Like I had the song on like, I don't even know. I would still consider myself childlike in my outlook on the world. Oh, that's a bargain, Quantum Network. We'll have to see. Okay, well, this hand is something. On the draw, can we keep it? Foretell, Bloodline Pretender, Unforetell, Massive Bloodline Pretender. It requires me to draw 1 land. I think we're going to keep. It's not great to start your curve with a Foretell card in these decks, I have found. But this thing's going to be hitting them for 4, so maybe we can make up for it. Exactly. Oh, let's go. What we got there? I'm going to get rid of Raven Wings because Dwarven Hammer is the similar effect in that it gives evasion to a creature. And I want to draw white mana. And I don't want to get rid of my creatures. Svella. Plains me. Nope, no plains. They'd block if I attacked, I think. I'm going to name Dwarf. It's a bummer that they get to use this. I could have my Bounding Gold soon, though. Oh, no. So I'm going to have to use my Bounding Gold on this now, once I draw my planes. Give me a plains, boy, to free my soul. I gotta get this to get my white mana. It's only getting bigger. Chumping. I could triple block this thing. Oh, whoops. Totally forgot that that was how that worked. Well, there's the planes I needed earlier. Shucks. Thank you so much, Yeshtables, for the subscription. I really appreciate that. Welcome, welcome. I should have triple blocked this last turn. Jeez Louise. Oh no. Didn't even think about that. Yeah, I'm not gonna win this game. I got hit by that Toki thing, which really wrecked me, and maybe we can get a little bit of creative here. We have 3 snowlands at least. We kinda have to just draw spells the rest of the game. I kind of have to chillax here. Because this has to block Toski. I didn't want to trade off my Pretender, because my Pretender was going to be a 6/6. Because I was going to get him by surprise. Or at least that was my hope. Yeah, a 2/2 Toski is too good for my deck to beat. Oh. Yikes. Runamuck would have been good. Would have been better in that game than Raider, I think. That was also one where I had awkward mana. The Shimmer fail came in really clutch. I haven't gotten to do anything with Call yet. Man, Bloodline Pretender would have been pretty good. That was pretty good that game, except when it died to a Masked Vandal. That was one of those games where things just don't line up very well. They played an indestructible 1/1 that just draws them cards, and I had all 2/1s in play. Which is pretty much, I mean, I have a lot of 2/1s in my deck, so I'm not like saying that I got unlucky in the cards I drew. It's just Toski's good against me. As are 5/5s, because I can't double block them profitably. I had to like trade 3 2/1s for it. So we lost that game. What was the other game we lost? Oh, the one where we just didn't draw any creatures to put our equipments on. It also really backfired that we didn't have our Raven's Wings. If we had discarded the Dwarven Hammer, it would have worked out better for us, because then we could have made our 5/5 into a massive flyer. But at the time, Trample seemed really appealing. Oh man. On the play, I have to mulligan this. I just can't cast most of my spells. And I only have 1 creature. This is better. And I can get rid of a mountain. Maybe Liberator can take over. Hopefully this works out. Oh yes, they're foretelling. I'm just going to get as much value as I can out of this thing. The difference between a 2-1 and a 3-2 is not as much. Yeah, I was very tempted to. Oh, no. Shucks. Well punished. Oh, are they gonna have a removal spell now? Because I was hoping to get an Alpha Strike in, make a Berserker to puff this up to a 3-3, trade with this thing. They block there, I shock it, then I play the call. My turn. So I attack, they block, I shock that. Or I just play a 4-4. Why not block the pet? Because I was thinking I was going to use the Frostbite on offense. Oh my gosh, you're right. I think this guy being a threat is a nice little factor here. But I can smack him for 5. Sure. I'm just going to use my Berserker, and then I can sack this to use my coal. That's a good point. And now I can Frostbolt that. Oh, this land coming in tapped is a bummer. And then next turn I'm going to Alpha Strike them. The 3 toughness is a real breaking point for me. This feels like I've been playing it really slow. Okay, that's okay for me. Oh, that's huge. So if I attack like this, how are they going to block? They're going to block call 3/2, take 3, 7, 9, 11. This has got to be good for me. They eat one of my creatures and I get in for a ton of damage. They have one blocker against 4 lethal threats. Okay. That's one card down. They'd have to have double frostbite, which they clearly don't have. Yes! So we got another win there. Let's look at our deck again. Do we want to switch things up? It's felt like Run Amok would have been pretty good, but then again, we have a lot of equipments to push damage, as I've been saying, which makes those sorts of things less valuable. Codespell Cleric to buff up our creatures sounds like it would be nice. Like, that extra point is so key. Maybe it'd be better than Immerstrom Raider, or better than... I mean, Bounding Gold has been fantastic. I'm just going to keep it the way it is. It's a tough deck to build. I'd be interested to hear what other people's thoughts are on it. The Codespell Cleric is probably a card that it could be run. You would cut Cole. Yeah, man, the fact that Cole works when your opponent Wither crowns you is absurd. I didn't even think about that. What the heck? It's just dumpsters Wither crown. Like, that was such a good... Someone pointed that out to me and I was like, oh my gosh, really? That's insane. Okay, we're going to keep this on the draw. We need to hit a land, but we have this into this potentially. Into this, maybe. Though you would prefer to play it for Harnful, probably, because Harnful's very hard to beat. I would love to see a plains float across the sky. Mountain's also good. Yeah, Codespell is a card that I want to try. I haven't gotten to play with it yet. My decks are always like not that color. Really, I mean, I'm a white deck right now, but I'm heavier red, which makes it harder to like play it. Oh, goodness gracious me. Trying to beat down. It is good with the Hawk. The Infernal Pet was kind of scary there. Not gonna lie. Oh man, I needed a plane so I could get the Story Seeker down too. Do they have a board sweeper of some kind? I really don't understand. Oh, I was so close to killing them! Oh, the Run Amok! Are they just gonna kill my whole board with the blood in the snow? What I need is a plains. Or they can concede. What? What the heck were they doing? They kept a hand that literally all it did was cast Kaldheim and then sit there. Do they need green mana or something? Like what? I don't understand how you can keep that hand. I'm so confused. Oh well. It happens to everybody. I've had hands like that where it just feels like your hand just doesn't work. You're just sitting there like, oh, my cards don't do anything. Rusty. No creatures. But this plus lifelink is so good. I'm going to keep this. It's sketchy. I'm not sure if this is supposed to be a keep, but 3 lands, 4 spells is so hard to not keep in limited. And Dwarven Hammer plus Rune of Sustenance seems great. I just really want to get that rolling. Ah, Frost Augur. Hello. I think this card is quite poor because it just takes so much to get going. Okay. You might wonder why I discarded the land. It's because this is a nice like insurance policy for the top. Well, the thing is, okay, just imagine half of the cards in your deck are snow. That's pretty ambitious because it means you have like 10 snow lands and 10 snow cards. That means that if you spend... Oh, yeah, I'm so glad we can kill that. Please work. Oh. Yeah. But it means if you spend a mana, you're drawing half a card on average. Which isn't bad until you think about the fact that, like, you've spent a mana to play this. It's not necessarily drawing you the card every turn. And if you draw, say, every other turn, that means over the course of 4 activations, you'll draw 2 cards. So that means over the course of 5 turns... You play this, 4 turns of activations. You've drawn 2 cards and spent 2 mana, and you drew 2 cards over the course of 5 turns. Ah, crud. Criminy. Feels bad, man. Oh ho. So, ditching that land with Immersturm Raider is looking silly, but I think it's going to work out all right. Sure, I'll have her over Cole. Look at this Bounding Gold, clutching it out. I'm going to do the mana efficient play, because next turn if I draw a land, I can go Rune of Sustenance into Bounding Gold potentially. Or I can just Bounding Gold the Lindworm then and still have my massive threat. Well, it's not drawing 0.5 cards a turn, because you have to keep spending mana on it, so you... Oh, man. Shucks. That's a shucks moment. Yeah, it's also only in a 20 snow deck. Oh, I'm so excited to live the Dwarven Hammer Rune of Sustenance dream. I will say I do like do a little hope they don't hit something, but like They could hit something and we'd be fine. There we go. Immersum Raider is not great, but it has done some nice stuff for us. And we get to Rune of Sustenance onto the hammer now. Oh, it's going to be so hard to race. This 5-1 Trampler hate with lifelink. It has done some work this game. They seem like they do have a deck that could play it. It's not like unplayably bad. It's just, it's not very particularly good. That's all I'm saying. It's what I'm saying. Wow. They just have another Raven form? You're kidding me. The monsters. How messed up can you be? They're just killing all my equipments. Except they're gonna die in 6 turns. Yikes. Five turns, I guess. Man, the fact that they've exiled all my equipment is kind of messed up. Oh my gosh. Of course I'm going to lose to Path of the World Tree now. Gosh. Black. Oh my gosh. Savage. I was savaged. This is just sad. Oh my gosh. This matchup has not played out very well for me, gotta be said. Ditching that plane's really backfired on me with the Raider. It's probable that I could have won the game if I had just like not ditched anything. I could have just accepted that was a May trigger. Oh my gosh. Then again, them having 3 different artifact removal spells has been real bad. Oh man. Wrecked by Path. Shrug. It happens. Sometimes they just randomly have... Oh, yeah. Well, we can't beat that card ever. That card's unbeatable. That one could have been winnable. If I had kept the land... Because casting Dwarven Hammer is really good for me there. But then again, they were going to have this Masked Vandal just wreck it. So... It happens. I mean, the deck still performed pretty well. 4-3 is a decent record, considering how variance works out sometimes. The matches we lost, I think we lost a couple that were just kind of not particularly close. And we kept a sketchy hand for sure, not a ton of initial pressure, but the equipment's just got so owned. Oh no, that was the last round. No, that was this round. We had like we had like this combo that I really wanted to try out, the hammer plus rune that just never got to come together because they just had infinite Raven forms. But yeah, that is going to do it for this draft video. If you did make it all the way to the end of the video and you're watching this on YouTube, remember to hit that like button, also known as the thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel, click that bell so you get notified when I post future videos, and leave a comment in the comment section down below. Leave hashtag Withercrowned call, or hashtag call Withercrown combo, because I never knew that was a combo, or leave hashtag Liberator Takeover because it absolutely took over a game, or just whatever hashtag you want. You could leave hashtag new overlay because there was a new overlay this video as well. I would love to hear your thoughts on that in the comments as well. If you would like to catch me streaming live, you can find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/NicolaiBolas. You can check out my articles and join the free NicolaiBolas community Discord server linked in the description and pinned comment. And you can also follow the NicolaiBolas Twitter if you want to get like here when I'm posting a new video. I'd pretty much only use it for that, but it's a nice little way to keep up to date with all my content. And if you would like to support my content, you can do so via the Patreon, patreon.com/NicolaiBolas. If you support at even $1 a month, you get access to my card-by-card grade spreadsheet for Kaldheim, which I'm updating as I learn about all the cards. You can also support my channel via Prime Gaming. If you have Amazon Prime, you can link your Twitch account and your Amazon account and then subscribe to my channel at no extra cost to yourself. So that's a really cool way to support my content as well. Anyway, that is going to do it for this draft video. I was pretty happy with how it went. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will talk to you next time.